So, this forbidden list, I don't think it's gonna be explained in 5 minutes. It's huge. What's going on with y'all, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! So amazing that Konami decided to drop the forbidden list when I was getting ready to prepare a fire video. Now, I'm not gonna punch in the air and act like a child. No, that's not my style. Ah! Why today? The video in question was teaching you how to build a deck in Master Duel and subsequently teaching you how to build a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It's still something that I plan on doing in the future, but let's talk about this forbidden list as, boy, there's a lot of things going on. Starting off with ban, there are going to be 4 cards banned here. That is quite the few banned cards. Archimus Protos is going to be the first card to be addressed, and this card was extremely popular for Sword Soul. Sword Soul players can easily search this card by having a synchro monster and then activating Sword Soul Emergence. They would then summon this card to the side of the field, declare the attribute that you are playing inside of your deck, and pretty much win the game on from there. This is actually a pretty fair hit, as this card is actually extremely busted and one-sided, especially if you already know what your opponent is playing. Next banned is Eva. Now, Eva is a very interesting hit because it was limited a few forbidden lists ago and now is being banned. This card was extremely powerful in the Drytron strategy, as if you discard it with your Herald of Ultimateness, you would not only be able to negate an opponent's summon, monster, spell, or trap, you can use the effect of Eva banishing fairy monsters from your graveyard to search 2 more. This card was also highly searchable through Cyber Angel Benton, and even though I was at 1, there's plenty of ways to get into Benton, and then also being able to be sent to the graveyard due to Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, so the card was fairly cracked. Now, Drytron hasn't been doing extremely well in the TCG, but if you're going to hit most of the strategies, you might want to hit another strategy that could become dominant if everything else is hit. Now, the next card banned is going to be some more Bird of Sovereignty, and this is actually a very balanced hit. Instead of hitting Tri-Brigade monsters or Lyra monsters, this card being banned is a fair balance. I mean, to be honest, everything from Duel Overload is pretty busted. Not only did this set have Union Carrier and Predaplat Vert Anaconda, it also had Selene, Master of Magicians. So yeah, this is just proving that almost everything in this set should be banned. But this card is actually a good bridge hit between both strategies, because this card did allow you to special summon Barrier Statue of Stormwinds at the end of your combo sequence, preventing the player from special summoning anything other than wind. But more importantly, it stopped you from being able to get a free Omni Disruption in Mist Valley Apex Avion, making your board a little bit harder to crack. And the last card banned is Imperial Order. Oh my god, all of our prayers have been answered, as this card is disgustingly powerful. The problem with Imperial Order is that hand traps have taken the backseat to those going second board breaking spell cards. Cards like Dark Ruler No More and Forbidden Droplet are extremely powerful, but if your opponent sets up a board and then activates Imperial Order, not only are you not cracking that board, you're also pretty much just losing the game. A hit to Imperial Order is really good for the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, and actually does make Sky Strikers a little bit more competitive than we would hope, but I guess that's just the cost of the game right now. Moving forward to limited, Destrudo the Lost Dragon's Frisian is a card that probably never should have been banned in the first place. Yes, at the cost of half your life points, you do get to synchro into 7. Ancient Fairy Dragon is still banned. Well, Destrudo does help players make Kristan Hockley Firebricks a little bit faster, and it's also really good for the Dragon strategy, being a card that you can send off for Dragon's Ravine. It doesn't necessarily warrant a ban at this time anymore. Fairy Tail Snow was a very interesting hit back in 2017, but I guess the TCG has looked at the OCG and realized that Fairy Tail Snow, while a good card, isn't necessarily overbearing. This card coming off the list will definitely help strategies like Burning Abyss and other strategies that send multiple cards from the deck to the graveyard, but isn't necessarily game-changing anymore. Astrograph Sword Sort of One is also another welcome card for the Pendulum strategy. This card is a lot better than Chronograph Sorcerer, as it allows you to replace itself to the side of the field and search an additional card that was destroyed from your deck to your hand. We can almost expect the Pendulum support from the Forbidden list coming because of Dimension Force giving Pendulum support, and this was very much needed. Lunalite Tiger was originally banned because in the beginning of 2020, there was a Zodiac Time Thief Lunalite deck that pretty much made some really good raid 4s and searched Psyframe Gear Gamma. This isn't really as good anymore. I mean, with Fire Formation Tenki being at 1, Zodiac Barrage being banned, and Dryden also being gone, Yeah, this card could probably come to 3. It was definitely an innocent bystander that just had to take a hit because Yu-Gi-Oh was very powerful at that time. Lyra recital startling to 1 is definitely welcome. The Lyra strategy is one of the best strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Being able to tone down on their consistency just a little bit while keeping them competitive is definitely the way to go. And Monster Gate being limited was definitely a head scratcher moment. One would have to think that Monster Gate was preemptively limited because of the cards that we're getting in the future. I don't see the big brain strategy, but I guess no one will with Monster Gate now being limited preemptively. Lastly limited is the ever so controversial Pot of Desires. I thought this card was bad. Remember the player saying that Pot of Desires was a terrible card? Why is it being limited? No, seriously, why is it being limited? Well, the answer to your question is Pot of Desires is actually an astounding Yu-Gi-Oh card, but right now Pot of Desires helps so many of the top strategies become even better. Decks like Sword Soul and Lyra only become infinitely better when they can draw 2 cards at almost no consequence because they play 3 of almost everything else. This actually made a gap for some of the top strategies to become even stronger by digging into the cards that they need with no drawback and show the disparity between the top meta decks and the decks after them. Now, I don't necessarily agree with Pot of Desires being at 1, but it's currently the best pot card. It's better than Pot of Greed. What does Pot of Greed do? Seriously, when was the last time you activated Pot of Greed? Pot of Desire says banish 10, draw 2. That's a plus 12. Moving on to Simi Limited, A Hero Lives was originally limited because of an FTK. A Hero Lives coming down to 2 is just natural progression. It will come off to 3 on the next Forbidden list, so expect that to happen. This is huge for hero strategies as now they have another way to be able to special summon a Stratos or whatever hero monster they want to their side of the field, allowing them to come back into the game, but at a fairly steep price of a half of your life points. This also supplements from Fusion Destiny being unlimited to semi-limited, and some players may not think that that's huge, when in actuality, this is huge. Some quick maths can easily tell you not only was Fusion Destiny the correct move to be semi-limited, is how big of an impact it has. When going first, you have a 34% chance of opening Fusion Destiny when it's at 3. When it's semi-limited, you have 2. Coincidentally, you have a 22% chance to draw one of your Fusion Destiny targets as well. Not only does this cheeky semi-limit limit the amount of Fusion Destiny being played in your deck because it increases the opportunities of you drawing your bricks opposed to drawing the cards that you actually need, it actually is a fair trade-off. Nadir Servant 2 has direct correlation to Invoke Dogmatic Shadol being a very powerful deck. Just be thankful that Konami didn't limit this card and make the Dogmatic engine completely useless. They're just gonna put it at 2. I actually think that this is really good right now. It's a nice sweet spot. The decks that can play Nadir Servant will still play Nadir Servant and won't lose anything. You just can't splash the Dogmatica package inside of anything hoping to draw Nadir Servant because now you have a 22% chance of drawing Nadir Servant as opposed to that 34%. Now I'm going to try to keep my best composure when I say Salamangreat Circle to 2. Salamangreat, best deck, let's go! Salamangreat Circle is 100% welcome for the Salamangreat community, as it's a card that allows you to search into your Salamangreat cards when you need, but isn't overbearing. Scapegoat to 2 feels like a terrible option. It allows those slow-paced decks to be able to make a Boral Sword Dragon for free, but maybe I'm still living in 2019 where links were definitely the go-to thing, and being able to draw, destroy a card, make a Boral Sword, and then pop off with your combos is a little much. Moving on to 3, just a natural progression of things, Danger Nessie and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to 3. We both saw these cards come off the list and go to semi-limited respectively. Them moving to unlimited is not a surprise, especially with the errata to Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Former Pal Skull Crowbar Joker is also another thing that we've already seen happening. Seeing that it came from 2, it coming to 3 greatly helps the pendulum strategy when we get more stuff in Dimension Force, but also is just natural progression. Emergency Teleport is a card that I already told you guys was coming off the Forbidden list. Not only is Psychic being supported inside of the Grand Creator set, it's going to continue to be supported, and Emergency Teleport is a very good card for the Psychic strategy. Then there's Raigeki to 3. I'm not sure if anybody cares about this. I'm still trying to figure out if players really care about this. Fun fact, this is the very first time Raigeki has actually been at more than 1. And lastly was a card that everybody said wouldn't come off the list, but your boy held out for the strongness. I said Skill Drain was going to come to 3, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if this card's still good. because this card is amazing. You got Dark Ruler Hades being drained from his skills. Get your Lost Art skill drains before they're $150. They're already $150? Oh. And that is the Forbidden List explained in I don't know how many minutes, but at least you got a complete explanation on why every card was on or off the Forbidden List. I can't wait to be able to do some more videos. And what videos would you like to see? Go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section, as well as check out these videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.